Hello, everybody. Way Midland, Texas. This is a Facebook post I did today, and as you can see, I was saying a slab concrete home with a hidden trapdoor would need the concrete cut, right? Guess who owned the concrete cutting company? Okay, I went on and followed that up here, and I said the realtor that found me this special rigged home was Jeaneen Pruitt, and her late husband, Will Pruitt, owned Diamond Tech Concrete Cutting. He just happened to die the year after I was shot by somebody under my home with my phone lines cut. I'm not saying the Will Pruitt helped rig this home or the many other homes that are rigged like it, or that Jeaneen Pruitt is helping to sell those homes, but maybe we should ask some questions since it said there are multiple murders here. Interestingly, the ex-wife had told me that I was chosen to buy this home, and if that was the case, which I believe it is, then I suspect Jeaneen knew this home was rigged along with the $1 million underground home in the backyard where the oil show parties were held. Okay, I'm going to show you the obituary I found, and here's the picture. James William Pruitt. William Pruitt passed away July 27th in 2013. I'm shot in January 2012. Age of 47, while quietly enjoying a cigar on his patio. He owned Diamond Tech Concrete Cutting Company, and his wife was Jeaneen Pruitt, and it was Jeaneen Pruitt that found this home for me, my realtor. Okay, and so and if he didn't, then somebody cut the concrete, right? And here's a picture of Jeaneen. I also have pictures, and interestingly, she works for Pine and Beckett, and I have a story on that. Here is an email that I sent myself on June 27, 2013, the year after I'm shot and my phone lines cut. And I said about 5 p.m. yesterday, I heard a call on the scanner from the dispatcher to officers concerning a person that says they have intruders in the attic. This female dispatcher stated a possible 1096, which is a mental patient. That's the modus operandi for the calling the crime victims crazy. They did it at this home, my home, and many other homes. That's what the police are doing. The radio said that these people had been breaking into his attic for about 3 years. This was at 4619 and owned by Harold Klotz. He's no longer alive. That's also kind of interesting. Okay, I spoke to Mr. Klotz last night, and I drove over there and talked to him. I spoke to Mr. Klotz last night, and he told me that he had rented his home out a few years ago, and this was when I suppose it was rigged for covert entry. He mentioned that some things were built in the attic, and that wasn't there before, and he wants to show me later. It sounded like he had talked to the sheriff's office concerning this matter without resolution. He was sure that there was more than one intruder, which is the same thing here. They were also entering the living area of his home while he wasn't there. He said that the police suggested that he shoot them, but I'm worried that the police would lock this man up in voluntary committal for telling the truth and trying to protect his property. As I suspected, there are more homes that these people have rigged so they can repeatedly break into, thereby terrifying the homeowners and stealing utilities. I strongly suspect that they murder whoever catches onto their crimes, and possibly they murder people just to collect insurance inheritance. It's appearing more and more that quite a few members of our local law enforcement are involved in this racketeering. This was before I had 50 other homeowners documented reporting people that. This was one of the very first homes other than my home where I'd heard of somebody being in the attic, and I went over and talked to this man at 4619's This is a time-stamped email, proves at that time I wrote it. Okay, so now we're going to go to the Midland Central Appraisal District. Okay, and then we're going to go, I'm going to type story. I can't type and point very good, but story up there. Okay, a property search. Go down the story. Go down to 4619. This is where you find the deed history. And I go view property over here, okay? And there it is. This is the current owner of that home right on the internet. This is public information right here at Midland Central Appraisal District for that home where people reported in the attic. Patrick Wyndham, okay? And I'm going to show you here. And the owner, okay, of the deed history Harold Klotz. That's who I talked to. That's who was reporting people in the attic of this home. And then he sold this. I'm going to show you the date on it in 2014, right here, on July 2014. And who bought it was James David Pine. Okay. And I want to show you why that's interesting is because I hate when it does that, but the reason that's interesting is because my realtor that found me this home was Jeaneen Pruitt, and she works for Pine and Beckett. David Pine owns Pine and Beckett. He is the Pine of Pine and Beckett. She's the one that found me this home. Isn't that interesting? The David Pine bought that home on Story, where he's reporting people in the attic. Okay, and her husband owned a concrete company before he died, and you would have to cut the concrete in a concrete slab home to put in an underground trap door. And we know that's happening. I've got a video called From a Tunnel to the Attic showing how I figured out they were basically coming up a wall through the concrete slab, and you'd have to cut the concrete. This is Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas.